Alright guys, welcome to Wrassing's second ever live stream watch along, and tonight we are watching the much anticipated. We are watching WWE NXT 2.0 September 14th edition. This is the debut of a revamped NXT 2.0, and I am thrilled. I'm excited. You talk about the intro, you talk about the lights. I know that the lights look a little flashy. We're so used to seeing the black and gold. So the colorful lights definitely they seem a little flashy right now, but I'm kind of digging this look. I'm digging the new stage. It looks different. I feel like it's okay. And now when I look at it, now when I see the view of the stage from the ring, it does look a little flashy. There are too many LED lights right there, too many LED panels. I'm just trying to think if this one's overproduced, because I feel like it's too early for me to say anything. But it does look okay. It does look okay. And we have William here. How are you, William? How you doing? And we have KJ. KJ, I hope you're doing well. And we have all the people watching from across the globe. And guys, let us know what you feel about the show so far, because so far, what I'm seeing is what I kind of like. I'm not mad right now because I welcome change. I welcome this change. I feel like it was kind of overdue, but still trying to figure out if it's something I like or not. I don't know why, because whenever there is a WWE name next to any show, next to any brand, I really think that the production value would be there. I really feel like, the seating arrangements or the whole venue, the setup would be top notch. But from what I see right now, I'm really confused because the stage, if you look at the actual stage, there are so many LED panels, large LED panels which tell one story. But when you look at the audience and you can see all those light setups and you can see all those light stands and the audience barely has any light on it, I don't know. It feels like it's a mix of two worlds. One world is a pretty overproduced world, but when you look at the audience, I don't know. I get this feeling of walking into a wedding reception right now. That's what it feels like. It's just weird. It's weird. Not a big fan right now. Not a big fan. Yeah, I'm not a big fan right now. That's for sure. Yeah. All right. KJ doesn't hate it. Okay. William thinks that Pete's winning the NXT title. All right. And said LA, but I had no idea he'd be. I know. When I saw LA at first, I thought, wow, that's an interesting choice to open the show with the NXT title match. But he's pulling double duty, so that's interesting. He does look like a wins guy, KG. You're right. LA looks like a wins guy. Wouldn't be too surprised if he wins tonight. I don't know why wouldn't he win tonight though. I mean, I get it. Pete is a good idea. Pete also kind of goes with the new theme of NXT, but I feel like if they really want to do something new, if they really want tonight to be a start of a new era, a new beginning, they might want to give the title to him over Pete. Might want to give it to LA. How interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of the setup right now. I am not, because if I'm looking at the way the audience is seated, it kind of reminds me of a TV taping for like the Daily Show or the Meredith Vieira show or one of those talk show TV taping seatings. It does not look like a seating for a wrestling show, and that to a WWE show. It's weird. It's definitely weird. It looks like a step down when you look at the audience. When you look at the stage, it looks like a step set up. So, I know KJ, he lost. But maybe, it's an indication that he wins the title. You never know. Maybe they want us to be surprised when he wins the title, so let's see what happens there. And we have a commercial break here. But again, what I was saying was that when I look at the audience there, the whole setup, it really reminds me of like I'm watching a talk show, like I'm watching, one of those daily shows with Trevor Noah or something like that. The audience is definitely smaller in number. We have lesser fans in the crowd, and the lighting is not that great. If you look at the stage, too many LED panels, overproduced, more expensive. But I don't know. I don't know. Not, can't say I'm impressed right now. I'm confused. I'm more confused than I'm impressed. That's for sure. But yeah, let's wait for this commercial break to get over, and hopefully we will not be seeing any Extreme Rules commercials during the break. So we'll see that. So let us know, guys, what do you feel about the new NXT 2.0? The look, the feel. Are you happy with it so far? By the way, I'm also thinking of Triple H as I watch NXT 2.0 tonight. I hope that he's doing well, and I hope that he had some creative input with the whole stage. And I still cannot digest the stage. If I think of the stage even now, I cannot digest it. I can't believe that that is a WWE setup. I mean, the stage looks like a WWE stage, but if you look at the fans, the seating arrangements, I cannot believe that that is a WWE setup because WWE is better than that. Um, so I'm a little surprised there, I must say. I'm a little surprised there. Oh wow, we are back with the Extreme Rules commercials, which looks anything but extreme. We're seeing some candlesticks lying around, some chairs lying around, but nothing apart from that. So there it is, the Extreme Rules commercial. Very, very weird. Very interesting. Commercial breaks. And by the way, thank you so much, guys, for joining us yesterday. It was our first ever live stream and very, very successful. In total, we had over 9 hours, actually, 9 hours of live viewership from yesterday's live stream. It was our first ever, so thank you so much for joining us. It was great hosting it for you, actually. That is the reason why we're back today. And if you look at the background behind us today, yesterday we had so many posters, yesterday we had a lot of stuff going on in the background, but today our background is quite equipped, it's very empty, it's very vacant. And that's because for today's shows, especially I had so many questions. I did not know what to expect. I just knew that today, Bro Log is here. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. And so I knew that today we're stepping into the NXT world with a lot of questions, not knowing what to expect. The only thing that we know is that we are NXT, we were NXT, we always have been NXT, and that's why we have that there. We have some posters of the most iconic matches, pay-per-views back there, and a lot of colors and a lot of white, because that is all that we knew heading into the show tonight. And let's see if the show is able to impress us, and is able to impress the fans that were of black and gold, because those fans are not easy to impress. Those fans have been pampered, and they've been, really been in for a treat ever since the beginning of NXT. And by that, I do not mean NXT Redemption, I mean NXT. Alright, so the Emporium is here. KJ, I mean, the fact that LA lost that opening match, it just solidifies my feeling. And I can be wrong. If you look at what happened yesterday with Big E, you know that even the greatest fans in the wrestling world can be wrong, KJ. Right? So yeah, I mean, What I'm thinking about that opening, if it makes any sense, is the only reason why LA lost is because LA is set to win the title later tonight. So it comes as unexpected, comes off as surprising. Maybe that is the only reason why they would have done that opening match. Other than that, that opening match did nothing else. I mean, it was not a great match, nothing spectacular, nothing that stole the show. Doesn't make sense. Today's NXT time. NXT is actually on right now. It's on the air, so if you want to tune in, you can definitely tune into NXT right now. So in our video yesterday, KJ brought up something very interesting. He said that NXT used to be a 1 hour show earlier, and people used to love it. Then it became a 2 hour show, and it became a lot like the WWE main roster shows, where it became overproduced, where it became too stretched out. And I totally agree with you, KJ. And now when I think about this whole revamp thing, I really am interested in seeing how are they going to manage to keep us entertained for 2 hours. It could have been a chance. This could have been a chance for them to go back to an hour-long show and really tell us that, hey, this is a developmental brand. We're going to treat it like that, or we're going to give it all the love. But if they're keeping it 2 hours long, if they're trying to bring so many eyes to the product, it is not a developmental brand. And speaking of developmental brands, I spoke to JTG not too long ago. I spoke to this guy maybe a month ago. Yes, it was in August. And I asked him this question. I said, what are your thoughts on NXT? He said that, hey AJ, NXT is great. I don't watch it. I get all my news, all my stuff for NXT from social media. I asked him, hey, JTG, would you call it a developmental brand? Would you call it NXT that? And he said, to call something developmental, that brand, that product, NXT is just way too big. It has way too many eyes on itself that it cannot call himself a developmental brand. Because to be developmental, you have to be able to make mistakes. But on NXT, you cannot make mistakes. You cannot afford to make any mistakes whatsoever. That is why it will never be a developmental brand. Looking at this show right now, I'm just confused. I'm really confused, actually, because the fans, the seating, the number of fans there are, the way the arena is built, the lighting, it gives me a small show feeling. It gives me a feeling of a developmental show. But looking at the production value, looking at the hype, looking at the way that they built the revamp, wanted a lot of fans to tune in, I'm just confused right now. Are you going to treat it as a developmental brand? Are you going to keep it aside? Are you going to let only the hardcore fans tune in? Or are you really opening it to everybody? Because right now, from the looks of it, I am confused. I'm really confused. NXT is a brand that a lot of wrestlers called home. You speak of Adam Cole, you speak of Kyle O'Reilly, you speak of Finn Balor. A lot of fans felt proud to be a part of NXT. And with this production value, with this setup, with these colors, with this stage, I don't know if they can relate to this NXT anymore. I don't know, because I'm confused with this whole thing right now. I'm really confused. But let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. All right. Yeah, KJ, I couldn't have said it better. It does look like an old Nickelodeon studio. Just like I said earlier, it looks like a talk show studio. Nickelodeon one, that is. You're right. But I don't get it. I mean, this feels like a downgrade. It feels like a downgrade from the setup that they used to have with the black and gold. The one big problem I see right now is you can clearly see the roof of the building. You can see the walls. And when you can see all of that, you can see an end to the audience. You can clearly tell that there are not enough audience members in the room. And it shows that, okay, so this is a very humble setup. Not made for a lot of fans, made for a limited number of fans. But for a show with such production value, for a show that is hyped so much, that WWE wants a lot of eyes to, I don't understand Why? I don't understand the decision behind downgrading the setup like that. Because with this color, with the arrangement that we have right now, I don't know how many people are going to be tuning in. I mean, they might tune in for the wrestling, but let's see how good the wrestling stays. Right now, the matches that we've seen so far of the night, we have seen two matches, and both of them have been okay, have been decent. Nothing extraordinary, nothing that I'm like, wow, nothing like that right now. I'm not a fan. Right now, I'm not a fan of these colors. I'm actually not. I don't know, the younger fans can relate to it either. You know, a lot of times when you talk about the decisions that WWE makes, people say that, hey, they make these decisions because they're catering to a younger fan audience. That's where the money lies. I understand that, but would a younger fan base like such production? I don't know. I don't know. My younger self wouldn't, that's for sure. But who knows? With these colors, they're probably aiming for somebody very young, probably younger than 13 or 14. I don't know, guys. But I had a lot of expectations. You know, after looking at the new logo, a lot of people were complaining. I was not one of them. After looking at the new logo, I was excited. I thought, okay, so this is time for something different. It's time for a change. But from what we've seen so far, is the change is something that I'm not welcoming yet because now I understand why they did not do a big reveal of the stage earlier because the stage just looks absurd. It looks weird. Well, let's see what happens. It's gonna be interesting seeing how people react. You know what? I'm gonna actually go on Twitter right now and I'm gonna try to see how people are reacting to the stage because I'd love to hear their opinions. All right, so we have here Leo Gross 980 who says that a new logo and now a new stage for NXT. The logo isn't right, but the stage kind of looks like low budget even for WWE. That's what I've been trying to say. The stage looks low budget. When I first looked at it, it kind of reminded me of the whole daily plays thing that NXT did for a while. But daily plays was way better. I'm going to take my words back. Actually, daily plays was much better. This stage it just looks confusing. This is one. What the question that comes to my mind after watching this show and after watching this stage is WWE. Do you really want the fans to tune in every week to the show? From across the globe. Do you want people, let's say in the UK and on Australia and India, do you want them to stay up or wake up early to watch the show? Or do you just want the show to be reserved for the casual fans, to be reserved for the fans who can actually be in attendance for the show? Because right now, looking at the production value, it does tell a different story to me. To me, it feels like they want the show just to be for a very specific target audience. And that target audience, I don't know if they're going to be a fan of the new colors or the new set. This looks like an indie show set. It's weird. Maybe what Vince McMahon is tired of is the loyalty that a lot of wrestlers had for NXT. You know, if you look at Adam Cole, look at Finn Balor, look at lots of those people, they did not want to leave NXT and they wanted to stay there instead of going to the main roster. Maybe Vince McMahon wanted to take that away from them and destroy the home that they loved and make the main roster the only relevant, the only big thing in the company and not NXT. Maybe there was some internal conflict there. And that's what Vince McMahon did. He removed that conflict by downgrading the production of NXT. Could happen. Who knows? KJ, says that can we talk about WWE giving wrestlers new names, awful names? I know. Oh dear, I know, and that is that is a division, that is a department that AEW is doing so well in. AEW is doing fantastic. They are not being very diplomatic. They're letting the wrestlers use their real names, and that is a very welcomed move. But again, WWE has been doing this for years. They have been having these independent contractors. They've been giving their own names, for merchandise and whatnot. They've been doing this for since forever. I don't expect them to change it all. They're just gonna keep doing it. And for those wrestlers who get awful names, either their last name or their first name is gonna get removed, or either they're gonna get released down the road. So that's bound to happen. But let's see what happens. The commercial breaks over. We're back in the show, and wow, what a downgrade. This does not even look like a wrestling setup, except for the ring. This is weird. We have BFAP coming out right now. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at BFAP and I'm trying to think, would a team like this be successful on the main roster? Would a team like this be successful? Uh, we already have the Street Profits. Do we need BFAP? So we see a guy in backpack. We see a guy in a snapback. Um, it's interesting. Interesting. BFAB is definitely an interesting team, but would it be a main roster successful? I think it's too early to say that right now. We have seen what's happened with a lot of NXT stars who went up to the main roster. Don't know what to say about these people. Alright, so we're in for a women's match, a one-on-one women's match. Let's see. Again, I'm trying to think if the wrestling has been a downgrade so far. I'm so out of words watching this show today tonight because the stage has obviously not impressed me. The colors have not impressed me. The wrestling either. We've seen two matches already. We're looking at the third one right now. Am I impressed by the wrestling? Is it the kind of wrestling I want to tune into to watch every single Tuesday? I don't know. So far, I would say probably not. This is the kind of wrestling I can just, stay updated with, looking up its results online, posting the results online. Is it something that I want to tune into for every Tuesday? I don't know. Not yet. Not yet. Look, that's what I'm talking about. The match is over already. What kind of wrestling is this? We saw the first match get over in minutes. We saw the second match get over in minutes. We see the third match get over in probably a minute or under a minute. What kind of a show is this? Am I impressed? I'm far from impressed right now. Not even close to being impressed. This is something very, very weird. Very weird. And she's cutting a promo now. This is definitely not Triple H. This is definitely Vince. This is definitely Vince. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is wow. I have goosebumps right now, and these are not the good kind of goosebumps. This is I'm concerned. William says that those lights on the stage look so embarrassing. I agree, William. It does look embarrassing. Oh dear. KJ says that anyone else get turned. I know. You're right. Right on the money, KJ. Again, the only reason why LA would have lost his first match on the show is because he's winning is if he's winning the main event, maybe they want fans to be actually surprised, because when he lost the first match on the show, maybe fans started giving up on him, that no way he's going to win the main thing. And that's what WWE wants. They want us to think that, hey, you know what, this guy is not going to win, no way, and he actually picks up a win tonight, trying to add some kind of a surprise element to it, maybe. Apart from that, there's no other good reason for him to lose. Why would they do that in a random match at the start of the show? And not just the start of the show, the first ever show of the Revamp NXT. The first ever show. I thought that the opener would be mind-blowing. We're seeing a little confrontation right now, some promo work, some mic work. And that's it. That's just ended like that. It ended with some mic work, and that's about it. Wow. Now we're seeing Cameron Grimes, and Cameron Grimes is a guy that a lot of people love. I get it. People love him. People love his character, his work. I feel like, just like Cage just said, it was like it started feeling like the product started feeling like a WWE main roster show. That's what Cameron kind of reminds me of. I feel like this is one of those characters, those gimmicks that really, brought in that feeling of the main roster thing. Nothing against Cameron, he's a great talent, but I'm just not a big fan. Austin is alive. Okay, so we have Damian Priest and Austin out here. Oh, gosh. Johnny Gargano is here as well. I'm just confused watching this whole show. I'm confused. It looks very, very low budget. In terms of a WWE production, it looks low budget. Even that backstage segment, the walls and everything, they could have covered it up with something. They could have added some lights. But it was just a plain wall with the NXT poster. I don't know, very low budget in terms of the WWE. I don't know what are they actually trying to do here. This show, NXT was a brand that they actually tried to create a war with AEW with. They wanted to beat AEW Dynamite with NXT. This is not the NXT that they can actually use to beat AEW with. Not at all. Never. Not in a million years. Even if AEW was a brand new show today, they wouldn't have been able to beat it with this NXT. This NXT looks like a total downgrade. An absolute biggest downgrade. Dear, I am not sure what kind of message are they trying to put out there, but this is underwhelming to say the least. And William is not the biggest LA Knight fan, but he thinks all the competitors tonight would have a great title reign. I agree, William. But again, this show has been so unpredictable, not in a very good way, that I'm not sure what's going to happen in the main event. I'm not going to make any guesses because I really don't know what to expect, because it has been very surprising so far, and not in a very good way. Let's see. And for our new viewers who are joining us for the first time today, Wrestling News is obviously Instagram's #1 news source. If you haven't checked out our work yet, go to wrestlingnews.com or go to instagram.com/wrestlingnews to check out our work. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we'll be going live every single day for every single major wrestling show out there. And speaking of major wrestling shows, it's such a good time for us to be wrestling fans because, apart from NXT, all the shows have been so great, have been so top-notch. Not just the major ones, but even the lesser-known ones, even the indie shows have been so great. Everybody has been putting out great efforts to really make wrestling shine as a business, to really make wrestling shine as a comeback sport. It's been great for every wrestling fan out there, no matter what promotion you tune into. Even ROH is doing such a wonderful job. It's doing such a great job. William, I'm kind of considering doing a review of this episode. Oh. This is a review right now, William. I mean, I don't know. This show, I felt like I was going to be, jumping and I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. But right now, I don't know. I'm just kind of laid back, sitting back. I'm not expecting too much from the main event either at this point. But let's see. I hope that I'll be proven wrong. But let's see. Let's just see. Wow. So I just saw a commercial, a WWE commercial, still with Daniel Bryan out there. So they gotta try talking to their network and removing Daniel Bryan. They wouldn't want to promote a wrestler who's in the, rival company, as to say. I wonder how's Adam Cole feeling right now. Adam Cole recently jumped ship from NXT to AEW. NXT was a home for Adam Cole for way too long. He loved being there. I was actually there at Takeover Brooklyn when he made his debut for NXT, and I saw the crowd go wild. People couldn't believe it when Adam Cole made his debut. They loved him. And he received a lot of love throughout his time at NXT. And I think he enjoyed his time there as well. So I'm really wondering, how is he feeling as he's watching this debut of the new NXT 2.0? Is he like, whew, I'm glad I left that place, I'm glad I'm here? Or is he feeling sorry for those people? Or is he excited for the future of NXT? I don't know. Imagine how Adam Cole would have been booked with the new NXT. I cannot imagine a guy like Adam Cole actually wrestling in a ring. I don't know if I can call it a ring, in a hall, in a bingo hall. Can I call it a bingo hall? Maybe a little too big to be a bingo hall. But imagine Adam Cole being in a place like that with all these colors around him and these bright LED stage. Just weird. It's weird. I'm kind of glad that Adam Cole doesn't have to wrestle here anymore. The 2021 NXT Breakout Tournament winner, Carmelo Hayes, is here. His shirt says future. Now, if you look at Carmelo, we read a lot of reports, especially from Fightful and from Wrestling Observer newsletter, and these reports said that NXT is not going to be a place for the dwarfs. It's not going to be a place for smaller wrestlers, for leaner wrestlers. It's going to be a place for meaty, bulky wrestlers, the wrestlers with the right look. Does Carmelo fit that look? Does he fit that Vince McMahon idea of a great wrestler? Let us know what you feel. Let us know in the comments, because if I'm looking at Carmelo right now, definitely doesn't look like the right look in terms of Vince McMahon. So it's interesting. Let's see. I'm really trying to understand the future of NXT from what I'm seeing here tonight, and I'm just confused. I can't understand why did they take this decision and not that and that and not this. There are so many questions right now. I'm just trying to come with terms with all those lights that we can see in the background and the audience, the whole setup. I'm just trying to come with terms with that, and I'm just not. I can't come up with a possible explanation to any of it. Dear. The commentators have been rather quiet tonight. I don't know if you guys actually notice it, but I feel like the commentators here at NXT have been quiet themselves. They've not been, I don't think that they've been too excited. I can't hear the excitement in their voice. They've been rather calm for the first ever episode of the Revamp. This is definitely a very quiet commentary table. So not too surprised. Not too surprised. If the main event doesn't deliver, which I highly doubt, because I feel like with guys like LA, with guys like Tommaso, with guys like Pete Dunne, John, so many great talents, the main event definitely has to deliver. But let's see. All right, so this guy calls himself the Chosen One, and that's a nickname that was first used by Drew McIntyre, former WWE champion, and he calls himself the Golden Child, the Chosen One. Interesting choice of words. The Chosen One did get fired from the WWE, and he worked hard, before getting back to the promotion and really proving himself. So the Chosen One is a tricky nickname if you want to use that one. So good luck to you, sir. But interesting to say the least. So this guy also has a guaranteed championship opportunity. Let's see. Duke Hudson is here, and they're coming face to face with the new guy. Um, Again, I'm seeing Duke Hudson make his entrance, and I'm seeing that whole stage with the LED, and then I'm looking at the fans, the whole setup with the fans. It's these are two different worlds. Are you trying to mimic? Are you trying to replicate a independent wrestling show with the fan setup, or are you trying to actually put in money and deliver a big production value with NXT with the whole LED panels? I don't get it. It's so confusing. Why couldn't they just stick with one? If they were bringing in those big, large LED panels, they could have made the whole audience setup, the seating arrangements a little better. If they were sticking with the low budget indie feel, they could have, reduced those LED panels and they could have made a simpler setup. Because right now, it's too flashy, and right now, it's too confusing. I don't get it. So Hudson was basically out to be a jobber and to put this guy over. Alright, okay. I get it. I understand. I get it. Alright. Putting somebody over is not a bad thing, but it's been 37 minutes, close to 40 minutes now. And we haven't seen any good wrestling so far. We haven't seen anything that's been so impressive so far. So I don't know what to expect from the rest of the show, but I am underwhelmed right now, to say the least. Very underwhelmed. Okay, so Casey is here, and I love Casey. I mean, I've been watching Casey since her American Ninja Warrior days. I'm excited to see her here. I can't wait for her to actually make her main roster debut because I feel like she can be a great star in the WWE. So I'm excited for her future. I've been excited about her future for a long time now, ever since she arrived at NXT. Can't wait to see what she does next. Earlier, whenever I said I can't wait for somebody to make their main roster debut, in my mind, I used to be like, or maybe just stay in NXT and do well in NXT. But now, when I'm looking at this product, when I'm looking at the show, in my mind, I'm like, I really genuinely cannot wait for them to make their main roster debut because I don't know if I'm going to be watching NXT every single week with such production, with such wrestling. I don't know. I don't know. Feels weird. Alright, so we just got a commercial for the WWE Draft, and the draft is scheduled to take place in early October. What we saw yesterday with Big E was actually supposed to be held the change in titles were supposed to take place during the draft edition of Monday Night Raw. But of course, the plans got changed due to the rival NXT, AEW Dynamite, and how well they're doing in the key demographics. And that is why WWE decided to go ahead with the change in titles, change in hands. Last night, it was a very welcome decision. But again, it just makes me wonder what is in store for the draft, for the actual draft that's supposed to take place in early October. And that is because with Big E's arrival on Raw last night, the New Day is back. The band is back together. They're all on the same roster. They're all on the same show now. They're together. But will the draft actually separate them again? Because only 1 year ago in 2020, the New Day was split because they wanted Big E to shine on his own. They wanted Big E to do his own thing, which I feel like has worked, to an extent. But are they going to split the New Day again so that Big E is alone again and does his own thing again? I don't know, but I hope they do not, because I feel like whatever Big E's done, this past year. No offense to Biggie, I feel like he could have done it with the New Day in his corner as well. Having the New Day in his corner does not, lower Biggie's value at all. Even when every time he steps into the ring, people don't just look at him as Big E Langston or Big E. People look at him as a New Day member. So with or without the New Day members, it doesn't make a change. It doesn't make a difference. It's hard to see Big E as a solo act. It's hard to relate to Big E as a solo act. We already see the New Day. The name New Day already comes to our mind whenever we see any of the New Day members. So why not have Kofi and Xavier in your corner every time you're wrestling? It wouldn't be a bad idea at all. So I hope that all three superstars, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E, actually stay on the Raw roster, actually stay together. I think that would be right. So William is here with another interesting comment, and he thinks that they should set up a storyline where Big E wants to defend his title on his own, but wow, okay. Wow. And this is something that people have been thinking about for the longest time. If any of the New Day members are going to turn heel, are going to betray their own, family, their own partners, with Big E as a champion right now, it could happen, especially after how Kofi Kingston's title reign went. I mean, Kofi Kingston is a great guy. I love Kofi Kingston. I've been watching him for the longest time. I still remember his feud, his solo feud that he had with Randy Orton back in 2009, I believe. Great guy, incredible performer. I was happy when he won the WWE Championship as well. But the way his championship reign came about, it's not memorable at all. The only memorable thing about his reign was the victory, the night he actually won the title. Apart from that, nothing memorable at all. Alright, so we're seeing here, they're preparing for the wedding. They're getting everything ready. Again, the show has been a lot of average wrestling, and now to top it all off, we're going to have a wedding of Dexter and Indy. So let's see how this goes about, because right now I'm just very underwhelmed. This definitely does not look like the good old NXT to me. This just looks like a lower production, lower budget main roster show, or main roster maybe 205 Live, just like that. Even the colors are kind of resembling the 205 Live colors. So let's see. Not a fan of this right now. I mean, I'm trying hard to relate. I'm trying hard to understand the whole setup. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. And I hope that the wrestling impresses me as we go forward. We're about to enter the second hour of the show. I hope that the wrestling gets better, because so far, no, not impressed. Yeah, KJ. it would be refreshing to see them split. Definitely, why not? And again, just like I said, Kofi Kingston's second title reign was kind of the first title reign was kind of underwhelming. It was not something very memorable. So if Big E does split, if he turns heel, if something like that happens, it would make his title reign very, very memorable. It would add a lot more value to it. It would bring a lot more eyes, a lot more attention to anything that he does. So would not be a bad idea at all, William. I think that is a great idea. I think that is something that the creative should look at. I know. Okay, Jay, right on the money again. I feel like that's kind of disrespectful to ROH because the show. Oh God, but ROH is a great brand. I spoke with Maria Canellis, who's actually looking after the whole women's division in ROH, and she is so proud and so determined to make ROH really stand out and stand up and really feel like a home, a safe haven for all the wrestlers out there. She's doing a great job, a tremendous job with ROH, and I'm genuinely excited for their future and what they do. Very excited. And as we're seeing, this match play out, we also saw a little backstage brawl in the locker room. And again, this does not feel like the old NXT. It's just weird. Do they want us to concentrate on the tag team match that we're watching right now, or do they want our attention to get diverted to something else that's happening backstage? I don't know. But this NXT, this show used to be for the fans that love wrestling, the fans that love. Look at that! Look at that! They didn't even let the match finish due to an interference. The match is over. I don't know if they're at the focus of NXT, of the new NXT. By the way, what a new look! She looks good. The new hair looks great. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Just taking a second to say that she looks great. Okay. So, again, I'm just not sure if the focus of the new revamped NXT 2.0, is wrestling. Because the wrestling is not good. They're not even letting the wrestlers put on a show right now. The matches are so rushed. Whenever I play a video game, let's say I'm playing a WWE 2K game, it takes me about 10 minutes to finish one match, and these matches are way shorter than that. These do not even last 5 minutes. It's really bad. If you're a fan of wrestling, if you love professional wrestling, I can't see why would you like this show. If you like the entertainment part of wrestling, I cannot see why would you like this show. The show has nothing to offer to either fans of wrestling or the fans of the entertainment side of wrestling. This show is just, I feel like they're killing their own product with the show right now. Wow. So surprised. Uh, we interrupt NXT 2.0 to bring Nicole in. I know. And KJ actually said earlier tonight that this really looks like a Nickelodeon setup, and I can't agree with him more. It does. But guys, the setup, the stage is not the only thing that's so concerning to me right now. It's also the wrestling, because NXT has always been that brand that is worshipped, is loved by the fans of wrestling, of professional wrestling. A lot of fans always said that we do not watch the main roster shows. We only watch NXT because NXT's wrestling is actual wrestling. What are we seeing right now? I really want to talk to those guys and ask them if they're still going to be tuning in from next week, because what we've seen so far. And can you imagine a show like NXT TakeOver actually taking place with such colors, with such a product? Because TakeOver is it's a holy name, it's a holy grail for any NXT superstar out there. They want to be at TakeOver and they want to deliver. They want TakeOver to be better than the main roster pay-per-view that follows their show. They want to give them a tough night, a tough competition. But Takeover with such an NXT product, I don't know. William says it's almost like they're trying to ruin NXT to make people like. That's what I've been saying, William. It really feels like they've been trying to ruin NXT to make their other products feel better. I don't understand why. What's the deal with it? But 205 Live has a better production value than the current NXT does. Let's just face that. Let's just think about it for a second. 205 Live has a better production value than NXT. If this is the kind of show that they want to create, they can actually very easily record episodes of NXT, before or after the Raw or the SmackDown tapings. Because the matches are so short, it wouldn't take them more than 30 minutes or to record these episodes. This is really really absurd. When I decided to do live streaming, when I decided to do watch along live streams on YouTube, one of the reasons why I chose this particular week was the debut of the revamped NXT 2.0, and I was genuinely excited. I really wanted to look forward to it. I really wanted to be excited about it and try not to think of the negatives. But this show has been worse than its actual logo. I mean, the logo still, was tolerable, but the show, the product itself, I don't know. All right, so we have a tag team match now. So it looks like we have a 6-woman tag team match. Wow. Really out of words right now. If you think that I'm being too silent right now, it is because I'm genuinely out of words. I don't know what to say. I cannot come to terms with the stage. I cannot. For the love of God, I cannot. And you can't blame me for that. Very underwhelming. Very, very surprising that they decided to go ahead with such a stage. Especially for a Vince McMahon product. Often at times people criticize WWE for for overproducing their shows. This does not look like a Vince McMahon show. This does not look like it. Wow. Apart from the LED panels, I know Vince loves his LEDs, but the whole fan setup, the whole, the building, the way it's put together, this is weird. Very weird. Again, as William said, I feel like the idea, if there is an idea behind this whole setup, behind this whole new look of NXT, if there is an idea behind it, I feel if I was Vince McMahon and I was putting out this show, putting out this underwhelming, low budget NXT, I feel like the idea behind this would be that fans really invest, their emotions and their time into NXT, and they don't want the NXT superstars to actually leave NXT, and they want them to stay there. Vince McMahon wants to change that, probably. He wants fans to now eagerly anticipate the arrival of their favorite NXT superstars on the main roster. I feel like that is what they're trying to do. They do not want to have an internal competition with NXT. They do not want NXT to be the brand anymore that's standing up against their own brand, because obviously NXT could not beat AEW, and what they're doing with NXT, what they were doing with the black and white NXT was actually having a competition for their own main roster shows. So maybe they wanted to change that. They think that AEW is already a competition in itself. So why, create another one, even though it's internal competition? Maybe that is why they've downgraded NXT to make it look like, you know, a product that people would love to tune into from time to time to check out the new and up and coming talents, but not really invest their emotions into, because the whole idea could be that you watch the product, you enjoy it, you pick your favorite NXT superstar, and you wait and you count down the days till their debut on the main roster. I wonder how Mandy Rose is feeling right now, though, because she has had a taste of the main roster for way too long, and she actually was impressive on the main roster. And now she's back on NXT. She obviously returned when it was still black and gold, and now she's seeing this new Bingo Hall NXT. I wonder how she's feeling. If she feels that her career has downgraded, if she has gone down the hill, or if she's excited for the future. I would actually love to ask her this question. How is she feeling right now? Very interesting. This is the first match of the night with some average wrestling. This match is actually getting some wrestling time, so that's something that I'm glad about. I thought we wouldn't see more than 10 minutes of wrestling tonight, but we are getting some of it right now, so that's something that's welcomed, definitely. Again, looking at this whole production, the only idea behind it could be that, hey, don't get too invested in NXT. Select your favorite NXT superstar. Select the superstar you really want to get behind and want to count down the days until they make their main roster debut. That's what I feel. They do not want fans to get too invested into the show. They want to pick their favorite superstars and really wait for them until they make it to the main roster. That's the only thing that I can feel. Imagine how oh gosh, I know, oh god, yeah, Samoa Joe. You're right, because he is such a star, and he was obviously released. He was brought back to NXT, and he was brought back to the NXT that he loved. And right now, this is not that same NXT. This is a very downgraded, a very different NXT. This is the NXT 2.0, NXT Nickelodeon. I don't know what you want to call it, but this is not that same NXT that Samoa Joe loved to perform for. Very weird. Very weird. Oh, God. I wonder how Beth Phoenix is feeling. I wonder how Wade Barrett is feeling as they call the action. And what do you guys feel of NXT Redemption? I know that NXT Redemption and the match is over. Mandy Rose has won the match. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about the idea of Mandy Rose winning, but okay, definitely sends a message out there. And by the way, Mandy Rose's new look, I'm taking it. She looks good. She looks like WWE's Megan Fox right now. She looks great. I'm really surprised at the whole show. I really came in tonight, started this live stream expecting a lot from the show, and as I'm watching it right now, I mean, apart from Mandy Rose and this match itself, there hasn't been a lot of good stuff on the show. And we have this wedding segment with Dexter coming up, and I'm not looking forward to it either because I really want to see some wrestling, but we are gonna see this segment. So let's see. I know a lot of fans love wedding segments and they love because the wedding segments are so unpredictable. It always ends up in something or the other. They're interesting, but for me, I'm not a big fan of those. They take up way too much time for somebody who loves wrestling like myself. But let's see. Let's see. All right, so Ridge Holland is on his way to the ring now. Ah, he looks very angry, and I'm not sure if he's angry because he's just so focused and he's so ready to wrestle, or if he's angry looking at the stage right now, looking at the setup right now. I can't really say, but he's looking at the fans, he's looking around the building, and he looks angry. If I was him, I'd be angry too, so I understand your anger. Definitely understand your anger. Wedding segment on your premiere show. I know it is an awful idea. It is, and let's just say, KJ, let's just think about it for a second, all right? Samoa Joe had to relinquish his title, and which is unfortunate. But let's just think about it. The only reason why we're having a championship match tonight is because he had to relinquish his title. If he did not, tonight's show would have been just about a number one contenders match. Just think about the idea, the mindset behind this. This is your premiere show. You're starting the show with a very underwhelming 2 or 3 minutes long match. You are ending the show with a number one contenders match. I feel like this really puts out the idea of making NXT just that, making it a low level, a B show, not too hyped, not too big of a deal. Just a show for up and coming talents. I think that's what's happening right now. They're not here to please the fans. They're here to show the fans the new and the up and coming talent that's coming up. That's what I feel is happening right now. That's the only possible explanation. Because if Samoa Joe wasn't injured, we wouldn't even be getting a championship match of the premiere episode of NXT 2.0. We'd just be getting a number one contenders match. So, yeah. Interesting to say the least. I saw somebody on Instagram writing that WWE hasn't hyped the show enough for them to tune in. They haven't hyped the show enough for people to actually talk about it. People started talking about it organically when they put out the logo of it. When Vale, the rapper, actually was the first person who put out the logo and whatnot. And I was thinking to myself, this is an interesting idea. Instead of WWE and their official accounts actually putting out the new NXT logo, they chose to have a rapper put out the logo first and reveal this whole new details about NXT first. A rapper and not a WWE official account or a WWE employee. It was a rapper who made this new announcement of the new NXT and showed off the new logo. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's like they're treating NXT as an adopted child right now. And of course, it is adopted. Vince McMahon adopted NXT from Triple H. NXT always has been Triple H's baby, but now it has gone to Vince McMahon, so it is definitely adopted. But I hope that they don't give it the treatment of an adopted child. I hope Vince McMahon is a good stepfather. Let's see. Speaking of being a good stepfather, in my conversation with Maria Kanellis, since Maria, by the way, if you guys weren't aware, Maria has worked with Donald Trump, and she has worked closely with Vince McMahon, obviously. So she's worked with both of the world's biggest egomaniacs to ever live, basically. So I had to ask Maria which one of the guys was easier to work with, or which one of the guys she respects more. And Maria told me that I feel like I respect. She told me that, and I quote, that I feel like I respect Vince McMahon more. And that's because Vince McMahon is a good grandfather, is a good family man. She says that when I see Vince McMahon with his grandkids, I can really see a good grandfather there. And that is something that I can respect. It shows a lot of Vince McMahon's true character. He's a nice guy. under that ego, under that skin. He's a good guy. But when I look at Donald Trump and the way he treats his grandchildren and his family, it really shows another picture. He's not very good with them. He's still Donald Trump with them, and that's why Maria respects Vince McMahon more than she respects Donald Trump. So very interesting answer by Maria, and really shows the difference between Vince McMahon and Donald Trump. Interesting. I always hate commercials. One of the reasons why I love pay per views is because of we don't get a lot of commercials during the shows between the matches. Yesterday, while we were watching Raw, obviously there were a lot of commercials. I did not like them, but I did not mind them either because I understand Raw was a good show last night. It was a great show, and the commercials, they made the wait worth it. I was interested. I wanted to see what was happening next. But with NXT right now, we're seeing so many commercials. I'm not that interested. I really wanted to get over with because I'm not interested. I'm not impressed with the product right now. What time has it been? It's been 1 hour and 5 minutes. We haven't really seen any good wrestling. We haven't seen any good segments. Nothing. Nothing that makes a wrestling show a good wrestling show. Nothing like that. And the fans in attendance don't look so impressed either. I see a few fans clapping, but I don't see anybody making a lot of noise or, really getting out there cheering, for the show, for the brand, for the stars. Nothing of that manner so far. William Regal is here for a backstage interview, and the look on his face says it all. Let's see what he has to say. Done. Kyle O'Reilly can no longer take part in the NXT Championship match. It's not cleared by medical. But the match still will be a fatal flaw. Kyle O'Reilly will not take part tonight for the NXT Championship match. And he's got to be replaced by this big guy. Okay. There you go, guys. There you go. Kyle O'Reilly is not going to be taking part for tonight's NXT Championship match. He's going to be replaced by that big guy. And from the looks of it, the big guy is actually going to win the match because he's big, he's muscular, he's bulky, he's beefy, and he looks like a Triple H kind of a guy. Again, I don't understand why did they have LA lose the first match, but now after looking at this new guy, it feels like this guy is actually going to be winning the match. He's going to be winning the championship, and I don't know. This is something that we can see on the main roster for NXT. This is not very welcomed, not a welcome move by myself. So Kyle O'Reilly has been pulled from the NXT Championship match. So Drake Maverick is in action right now, and I feel like the black and gold NXT was not a good fit for him, but I feel like this colorful NXT is definitely a very good fit for Drake Maverick. So if any wrestler that we've seen tonight, on this show, I feel like Drake Maverick is the one who's the best fit for the new NXT 2.0. Wow, what a night this has been. What a terrible night. One match after the other. The matches have been nothing but very, very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. I feel like the 6-woman match was the best match of the night so far. And, I mean, look at the quality of the product. What are they trying to show? What are they trying to show? The production has not been good. The segments have been average. The matches have been below average. What are they really trying to put out there? Just a very weird night. just a very weird start, just a very weird premiere for their brand new NXT 2.0. Tommaso Ciampa is here for a backstage interview.
Fine NXT 2.0. Apparently it's chaos and anything can happen at Jump. Hungry athletes shooting their shot trying.
Alright, so Tommaso Ciampa is obviously trying to put NXT 2.0 over. He's saying that it's pure chaos, anything can happen on this show. I don't know. I feel bad for Tommaso because he's such a great talent, such a promising talent, really brings so much to the table. Every time he's competing in a match, we really look forward to it. I want to see it. I want to see what happens. I feel bad for him to be representing a company or a brand like NXT 2.0. This has been a very weird night, a very underwhelming night, to say the least. Alright, so we're getting another match right now, and the Diamond Mine is here, and I can't say that I'm very excited about this match either because all the matches on the show so far tonight have been just average or below average. So I'm not sure if the Creed brothers are going to do anything different, too different for us to impress me. And before we even get to the match, guys, we are getting on another commercial break. So, like it or not, we are seeing another commercial break. Very interesting. Oh gosh. This night, tonight, I don't know if I can say it this way, but maybe this has been the worst show of the year so far. I can't say, I believe that I'm saying this right now, but maybe the premiere episode of NXT 2.0 has been or is the worst show I've seen all year. And that's a very big statement. But look at the match, look at the card so far, look at the whole show so far. The matches, the segments, everything. The interviews, they have all been below average. Below average. Just a very underwhelming performance. Wonder if Triple H is okay and he's watching this right now and how he's feeling. This is really bad. Yesterday, I got a comment on Instagram. Yesterday, I mentioned that I got a comment on Instagram earlier saying that for Raw, the commercials are often better than the product itself. Maybe I can say this right now for NXT and the commercials. Maybe the commercials are better, except for the Extreme Rules commercial. Maybe the commercials are better than the product right now because the product is bad. It's bad. I mean, I'm here for wrestling. I'm here to watch wrestling. When you talk about NXT, you talk about good wrestling. We haven't seen it so far. If you talk about wrestling, pro wrestling, you also talk about the entertainment side of it. We haven't seen it so far. The show has not been entertaining. The show hasn't put on any good wrestling so far. I don't understand why to tune in every single week to NXT. And if this was their actual goal, for people to not really get invested into the show, congratulations to them because they are being successful so far. Definitely are. The Extreme Rules commercial is back on, and I'm just trying to make sense of it. I can't. Even now, I can't. And I used to like it a lot when the Extreme Rules pay-per-views was still red and white. The whole theme was red and white. I feel like the color red just gives that a more extreme look, if that makes any sense. You know, the color red really is alarming. It gets you on your heels. It gets you on your, it gets on your nerves. It's something. It really gives you this sensation of alarm. It really. It's extreme. The red color, we've seen it with the ECW. We've seen it everywhere. Red color is extreme. And now when you bring in colors like purple and yellow and purple or green, that's Halloween to me. That's not extreme. So I don't like the new colors of Extreme Rules pay-per-view at all. Yeah, just being very critical tonight. I guess I'm being a little too critical, but it's true. There are a lot of things that WWE has done wrong lately, including the show tonight, which is NXT 2.0. Bad show.
At the University of Buffalo. And I was even named All-American for the Greco-Roman style. But my family, they smart me up. Because let's face it,
We're seeing a promo
there's no real money to be made in amateur wrestling.
from a new and up and coming
You know what the
superstar,
real
it
money
seems.
is? NXT.
Tony, a new superstar coming to NXT 2.0, and this is the kind of guy that we're talking about. This is the kind of guy, you look at him, he's obviously muscular, he's obviously tall, he's big, he has the right look, if you want to call it that way, he has the right face for a wrestling brand that is brought up by Vince McMahon. Definitely, he's bringing in talent with the right look. Definitely, he's doing stuff that he likes to do. But with the production tonight, the only thing, again, as I said earlier, the only thing that would make sense to me is if he does not want the fan to get invested into the show. That's the only thing that would make sense to me right now. Oh gosh. And as I'm watching this show right now, I'm getting a little notification on my Instagram from somebody who's commenting on a post of ours about the story of a former WWE Network employee who shared her frustrations working with the company. She said that the company just couldn't make up her mind with decisions when it came to the logging of content, the logging of all these videos on the WWE Network. They couldn't make up their mind, regarding SEO and whatnot. They couldn't tell if Chris Benoit, things like Chris Benoit, very sensitive topic, if it was okay for them to tag Chris Benoit as Chris Benoit, or if they wanted to remove him. She says 1 week they will be like, yes, you can tag Chris Benoit. People can look up his content by his name. The second week they would be like, no, Vince McMahon doesn't want you to do it, don't tag Chris Benoit. The third week it will be the same story, they would say yes, and the fourth week they would say no. So she was obviously frustrated working with the WWE, working for the WWE Network, and ultimately she was let go. She was released from the company in October of 2020 due to budget cuts. But the very frustrated WWE former employee, says that she was actually fired on bullshit and not budget cuts. So very interesting, to say the least. And we're having a talk about it. Says that new NXT is a dumpster fire at best. A dumpster fire, definitely it is. It's doing a good job at being a dumpster fire. Absolutely, I agree. It's been a terrible show. It's been a terrible show. And for its premiere episode, it's really sad. Very sad. You talk about WWE, it's a World Wrestling Entertainment. By the way, guys, if you're not aware, WWE is used to stand for World Wrestling Entertainment now, but now WWE is just WWE. They do not refer to themselves as World Wrestling Entertainment anymore. It is just WWE, and it's been this way for years. When I found out about it, I was a little surprised, but not too surprised because, they don't use the term wrestling a lot, so I get it. And the show, NXT 2.0, really shows why they do not refer themselves as wrestling, as CM Punk very well put out there during his debut on AEW Rampage. This is a television show, and a very bad one. NXT 2.0. And it is sad for the hardcore NXT fans to use terms like dumpster fire for the new NXT. It's because NXT has been a brand that they've been so proud of and they have loved for all these years. And to watch WWE kill its own brand like that and just so happily really is sad. It's sad. I'm wondering what is Tony Khan or the guys at AEW thinking when they're watching the show right now. I mean, you know, guys, you know what? A lot of fans make fun of Impact Wrestling, and they say that Impact is nothing. You know, Impact does not gain viewers. Impact is no competition to anyone. Maybe next week Impact is gonna beat NXT when it comes to the ratings. Maybe Impact is gonna outshine, outperform NXT, and I'm excited for the future of Impact Wrestling now when I'm looking at NXT because they are definitely putting on a better show than they are. I mean, if you look at Impact's, the crowd size for their shows, it's not very big. Maybe they have a fewer fans than in the arena than this new NXT 2.0 does, but the presentation is still okay. The presentation is still good. They do have LED panels, but they're not as weird looking as the ones that we see on NXT 2.0. The fans, the seating arrangement doesn't look as bad as we are seeing right now. NXT 2.0 is just confusing me. It's just confusing me right now. Yeah, and I feel like Impact KJ is even a better show. We see good wrestling there. We see some good athletes there. You know, the Good Brothers are there in Impact Wrestling. We have Rich Swann there. We have Moose there. We have a lot of good performance there at Impact. And they have good wrestling. We haven't seen any good wrestling tonight on the premiere episode of NXT 2.0. So Impact so far is winning. It's outperforming NXT as we speak. Dexter here is getting ready for his wedding. I'm sure he's excited, but I'm not. Okay, now we're getting a look at the commentary table. Look at the look on the faces of Beth Phoenix. Look at Wade Barrett. Look at how happy they look. I mean, they look sad. They look less than entertained. Just look at Wade Barrett right now. He can't even put on a smile on his face. He's trying so hard to pull one. Wow, even Beth Phoenix, that is a very uncomfortable smile, and I'm not surprised at all. The show has been dumpster fire, as Talk About It said earlier. So true. And we're getting the NXT Championship match, and I feel like this is so great because since we're getting this match now, it means that a lot of fans can actually go off the air. They can actually stop watching the show once the match is over. I'm speaking of the fans who are not interested in the vetting segment because the championship match is all that matters right now. We haven't seen any good wrestling so far. I hope that this match changes it all. I hope that this match really saves the show because this match is our only hope. Yes, KJ, they did look very uncomfortable. I mean, Wade Barrett couldn't even put on a smile. Beth Phoenix, props to her. She was able to pull a smile, but that was a very, very, very uncomfortable smile. As fans, I understand that we are invested into the product. We love the product, and it's heartbreaking to see what they're doing with the product right now. But for them, for guys like Wade Barrett, who actually made a career off NXT, there was NXT Redemption was the earlier NXT when it was used to be like a game show, but still they made a career of NXT, and this is a product that they loved, and this is the product that made them come back to the company and start working for the company again. And now they're stuck with this kind of NXT 2.0. I'm pretty sure that they're heartbroken right now. If they love wrestling, if they admire wrestling, they wouldn't be tuning in right now. This is so bad. This is so bad. Can you compare NXT 2.0 to the 1 hour Rampage that we get on Friday nights? I think not. I feel like the Rampage is much better. It's a whole new level. It's another level right now. NXT 2.0, on the other hand, no. I feel like the only promotion you can actually compare NXT 2.0 to is Impact Wrestling. And we have been live for 1 hour and 24 minutes, which means that the show has been going on for about 90 minutes now. So 30 minutes on the clock. I don't think that this match for the NXT title is going to go on longer than 10 to 12 minutes, and we're going to have another 15 minutes for the vetting. So, are they going to be able to create magic to really change the landscape of the show in 10 to 12 minutes? I don't know. But with guys like Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne involved, maybe. But is it going to be enough for fans to tune in next week? Probably not. Probably not. What about NWA NXT slightly better? KJ, I feel like NWA is doing such a great job right now. I mean, a lot of people, they call NWA the orthodox wrestling promotion. They don't tune in. They still feel like NWA could not grow out of its own territory, of its own mindset. But I feel like NWA is doing a great job right now. Maybe I'm a little biased because I have a lot of friends who are actually working for the NWA, who have appeared for NWA in the recent past. So maybe I'm being a little biased, but I feel like NWA is doing a good job, and they're putting out good wrestling. I mean, we saw guys like Ric Flair there recently, really giving props to NWA and showing that they have stepped up their game. We are seeing, we've seen Darren Foster there. We are seeing so many great guys. JTG is there, obviously a good friend of mine. Paula Mayfield, and the 90 Day Fiancé superstar who I had the pleasure of interviewing recently, also made an appearance there. They are getting in talents from all across the place, and they're bringing in good talents and they're delivering. So I feel like NWA is doing a good job. I cannot compare it to NXT 2.0. Also, the setup, the stage of NWA is just so iconic, and this stage is just so rubbish. Wow. Okay, so we're back from the commercial break, and we did not even get to see LA Knight's entrance. I feel like that sends a clear message. Maybe they do not want us to get invested in LA Knight. All right, the big guy is here. Von Wangler is here. I feel like this is the guy who is walking out with the NXT title tonight. Yeah. I feel like he is the man who is walking out with the title. He's obviously taller than anybody else competing for the title tonight. He's muscular, maybe better looking. I don't know. Can't say that. But he's definitely taller and bulkier. Gosh, if this guy wins the title tonight, it really shows that it's all Vince McMahon behind it. It really shows that it's all Vince McMahon. If this guy wins the title over LA, if he wins the title over Tommaso Ciampa, if he wins it over Pete Dunne, wow, it will show a very sorry state of NXT, and a state I don't like to see right now. Wow. I mean, if they really wanted to go down this route, they would have rather had somebody like Big Cass make his comeback and win the NXT title if they really want bulkier and taller guys. Von Wangler, I don't know who this is. I don't know what, I don't know much about him. I can't get invested in him. And if he's going to win the title on the premiere episode of NXT, I don't know. I hope not. And for him to get a title shot itself, with little to no effort, speaks a lot. And he's already knocked out LA out of the ring. Wow, LA is really being pushed around tonight. I mean, he lost the first match of the show. He just got tossed out of the ring. He's trying to get in, going for a roll-up pin, 1, 2, and a kick out. All right, so he's trying. Okay, a DDT. Wow, you know what, guys? After doing this for about 90 minutes, this feels like the first ever wrestling show of the night, a wrestling match of the night. It feels like now we're getting started with the actual match. Let's see. All right, so LA is now kind of dominating the match. He is. Oh, not for too long. He's down again. One is winning. All right, Pete Dunne doing what he does best. A very good technical wrestler. Really trying to get one Wangler down and out. He's doing great. Pete is just so smart. He's great. Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, face to face right now. This is what NXT Black and Gold was all about. Uh, and the new colors, the new look, the new face of NXT doesn't let them down. They're still out here to deliver. They're still out here to outperform any other brand out there. They're still here to do what they do best. All right. One Vanguard, by the way, reminds me of Lacey Von Erich. Lacey Von Erich has been doing good, actually. You might remember Lacey from her days in Impact Wrestling, the Beautiful People. She was a part of that stable, and she's doing great right now. She is the promoter of SWE, I believe. She started off as a media correspondent. She was looking after the media, after the PR, but I believe that she is now the promoter of SWE Texas, and she also recently got into Harvard School, where she is, I believe, is going to be pursuing MBA. So more power to Lacey. She is doing something great, and Lacey's a great person in real life as well. I got in touch with Lacey not too long ago. A very humble person, a very humble superstar, just down to earth, great person. All right, so Von Wangler here, knocking out Pete Dunne, knocking out LA. Von Wangler is definitely dominating this whole match, and he's not being received well from the crowd. I see a lot of thumbs up from the fans out there, and we switch to a commercial break again, obviously. All right, so we've been doing this for about 1 hour 32 minutes. So the show has a good 28 minutes left. This is the first commercial break of the match. Actually, the second if you include the first entrance. This is the second commercial break of the match, and I feel like we have another commercial break in hands. I feel like the match is going to go on for another 8 minutes max. Not too much for it to change the landscape of the show, especially if the guy wins the match. It's not going to be enough at all. And it's really going to show us that NXT is headed in a new direction. You know, when they put out the whole new logo and a whole new look and whatnot, and they put out all these 4 competitors tonight who were fighting for the NXT Championship. The one thing that really came to my mind, and I was actually mentioning it a lot during the Monday Night Raw watch-along live stream yesterday, I said that tonight is going to be NXT's, this match for the championship is going to show us the direction that the company is headed in. I said that, if Pete Dunne wins, it's going to show us one direction. If it's going to be LA, it's going to be another direction. I was putting my money on LA because I felt like LA kind of fit the look, the Vince McMahon look. But obviously the new guy, Juan, fits the look better, and he's winning, I feel. And if he wins, it will really show us what Vince McMahon wants NXT to do. He wants NXT to produce bulkier guys, bigger guys, and really make it known that NXT or WWE is not the territory for the smaller guys anymore. It is a new place, it is a new division, and it's a territory for newer, bigger, bulkier guys with the right look. So tonight's result, the result of this match, this Fatal 4-Way, will actually show us a lot of the direction NXT is headed in. So the result of this match is very, very crucial and very, very important. Let's just see what happens. A WWE shop advertisement is coming up right now, and I don't know, guys, about you, but back in 2014 to 2016, I used to be an avid collector of WWE merch and WWE t-shirts and whatnot, and I feel like that came to a sudden stop. in 2017. And I feel like they just don't put out as good of merch designs or as good as T-shirts as they used to back in the day. I feel like the shop has really the creative between the behind the WWE merch has kind of you know gone down a little. It's declined. All right, so we're back from the commercial break, and Tommaso is dominating the match right now. He is in control. Vaughn is nowhere to be seen. Tommaso with the chops, back and forth chops to Pete Dunne. LA. All right, now it's just LA. Now it's just Pete Dunne and Tommaso in the ring. All right. All right, Tommaso dominating the match. Vaughn taking his time, getting himself some good rest. Tommaso is really showing his dominance. He's showing why he is Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, he's so good. He's just great. I'd be very, very unhappy if Tommaso or Pete Dunne or even LA, one of them do not walk out as champion tonight. I really want one of them to, because all three of them deserve it. I feel like Tommaso or Pete Dunne deserve it more than anybody else in the ring right now, but I don't see it happening. Let's just see. So next week we are going to get Kushida versus Roderick Strong for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. With the new NXT, with the revamped NXT, do the titles like NXT Cruiserweight or NXT North American titles even matter anymore? I don't know. Let's see. Because NXT is not the same brand as it used to be. It does not have a big league feel to it anymore. It's not the same black and gold NXT. This NXT seems a lot smaller. Even the size of the building is a lot smaller. The production has gone down. So does it make sense for a very scaled down show to have 3 solo titles? And that's just male solo titles on the show. I mean, you've got the NXT Championship, you've got the Cruiserweight Championship, you've got the North American Championship, you've got the Tag Team Championship, you've got the Women's Championship, you've got a lot of championships out there. But does a scaled down NXT 2.0 need so many championships, and can it handle so many championships? I don't know. Pete Dunne and Tommaso Ciampa have been carrying this match, and they have been making tonight worth it. This is the only wrestling match I would say that I've watched so far. And the first match of the night that has gone beyond 5 minutes, by the way. Oh gosh. Juan was very close to picking up the victory there. What a save. Wow, and LA is actually bleeding. He's bleeding right now. I believe that he was pushed to the side steps, to the seal steps, and that is why he's busted open. He's bleeding right now. I don't know if that is something that they would like to show on TV on the premiere episode of NXT 2.0, NXT Nickelodeon. I don't think that blood is for kids, and that's why they wouldn't want to show blood on a Nickelodeon show. But let's see. All right, Tommaso and Pete Dunne really taking out Juan right there, coming face to face again. As I said, Tommaso and Pete Dunne have carried this match, and they continue to do so. Face to face again, back and forth. They have been in control of this match. Oh, alright, Pete Dunne getting hold of Tommaso's beard, a chop. Tommaso with the knee to the face of Pete Dunne. Alright, and with a suplex. Pete Dunne suplexes Tommaso Ciampa out of the ring. Now we have LA who's in the corner bleeding, and Tommaso on the top turnbuckle. I feel like, okay. Alright, Juan is back. Oh gosh. Juan is back. He takes out LA. I'm pretty sure he's going to be pinning him and picking up the victory. 1, 2, and Ciampa was the save. This is actually funny because before Ciampa could get to him, Juan stepped aside and he let Ciampa do his thing. Wow. Tommaso Ciampa has actually won. He has won the NXT Championship, and thanks God that he has won it. Because had it been anybody but Tommaso or Pete Dunne, I would have been very concerned. But Tommaso Ciampa has won the NXT Championship, which, by the way, is still black and gold. Is that championship, is that title gonna be revamped as well? Is it gonna be getting a good look as well, a new look as well? I don't know, but let's see. Let's see what happens. KJ, I know you're shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are. I know that was the only good part of the show. But would you say that the wrestling, the action in this match impressed you? I feel like Pete Dunne and Tommaso are capable of a lot more. They are capable of a lot better, putting up a lot better matches, longer matches. I feel like this was quite a brief match. I feel like it could have gone longer than that, but all right. Not gonna complain too much. Tommaso won, and that's all that matters. Maybe they knew the repercussions that could have happened if Vaughn would have won, because he just got added suddenly. Maybe the fans would have responded too well. Maybe Vince McMahon did realize that he would get a negative reception to Vaughn winning it on the first night of the show. Maybe it would have been a little too much of a revamp for Vaughn to win. Maybe that's why Tommaso Ciampa still won the NXT Championship. But it still feels weird to see Tommaso with the title in this new, very colorful stage of NXT. But still, I'm glad that he's champion, and NXT, even though it has changed a lot, still has Tommaso Ciampa as a champion. Props to Tommaso. And now we're getting back to the segment of the wedding. We're gonna see Dexter getting married very shortly. I don't know. Not very impressed, not very interested in it. But let's see what happens. And they've actually kept this for the main event. They have kept this as the last part of the show. So it better deliver. It better be worth all the wait. Indy is getting married to Dexter. Let's see what happens. And right now we're getting a promo hyping the wedding. Obviously, as they set up the stage and they prepare, the ring for the wedding with the flowers and the decorations and whatnot, we are going to be seeing a little promo until they get all that stuff done. A promo and a commercial, maybe. Yep. Oh gosh. I would have rather seen Dexter wrestle on the show rather than seeing him getting married. But that's just me. Maybe there are people out there who are interested in this and who do want to see Indy getting married to Dexter. I know a lot of people were actually happy when they started this whole relationship angle and they were actually intrigued. I don't know if wedding was something that they wanted to see on the first ever show of NXT Revamp 2.0, but here we are and we are actually getting this wedding. So let's see what happens. Let's see if the wedding is actually impressive enough for us, entertaining enough for us. Let's just see. But I feel like we can already start giving out a rating for the show. How would people rate the show? I mean, the wrestling was bad. The entertainment aspect of it, we haven't seen the wedding yet. Maybe it will be entertaining. Who knows? But so far, I would rate NXT 2.0. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to put out a number up there. Yeah, maybe the last match, the match that we just saw with Tommaso being crowned as the NXT champion. Maybe because of that match, I won't be too brutal. I won't be too brutal. I will not be too grumpy. I would rate this show so far. I would rate it a solid 2 out of 5, and I'm just being very, very generous right now. Very generous. Your premiere show, I know, KJ. Oh gosh. I can only imagine if the one guy would have won the championship tonight. I can only imagine how many people would have actually switch the channels and tune into another show, maybe turn off their television after that. But Tommaso Ciampa winning the championship might have saved a lot of fans from actually, stopping or leaving NXT for good, switching from NXT to Dynamite or Rampage for good. Guys like Tommaso Ciampa, guys like Johnny Gargano, maybe Dexter, are still the reason why people would want to tune into NXT 2.0. Just weird. Still weird. Alright, so the ropes are off the turnbuckles. They are getting ready for the marriage. I believe the last wedding that we saw was Lana and I don't know if I'm right, but I think it was Lana and Bobby Lashley. And wow, what a wedding that was. Alright. Ember Moon is here, and wow, feel sorry for her. If you guys feel like I'm being too silent right now, I'm literally not being silent, I'm just speechless. Because this is not the kind of stuff I would have expected in a million years to see on an NXT show. NXT is about wrestling, but this is something else. On I think we can safely say that on the premiere episode of NXT 2.0, we only had one genuine wrestling match. The rest of the matches, I can't call them matches, I would rather call them segments, because they were so short, they were so little, they did nothing to help the show in itself. I still have questions. I still don't understand why did LA open the show if he was competing for the championship. Why did he open the show? If they wanted to get somebody out of the Fatal 4-Way, Kylie obviously got out of it. Not sure if it was scripted or not. It seems like it was scripted, was part of the show. But, just like Kylie got out of the show, if they really wanted to get somebody out, maybe they could have gotten LA out of the match, Maybe the first match LA would have competed, he would have gotten a storyline kayfabe injured and not competed in the Fatal 4-Way. But they had him pull a double duty. They had him open the show, lose the opening match. They had him, in the Fatal 4-Way, lose that one as well. I don't understand. I've got a lot of questions, which I believe will never be answered. But I guess we shouldn't be concerned about that right now. The only thing that we should be concerned about is the main event, the main attraction of the show, apparently, which is the wedding of Dexter and Indy. So let's see what happens. The only wedding in my mind that I truly loved in the WWE was the wedding of Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee. Now, that was a wedding that had so many surprise elements to it, and I'm not a fan of weddings at all. I hate going to weddings in person. In real life weddings, I get really bored. But it's alright, that's another story. But WWE weddings, I'm not a fan of either. I don't like to tune in. I'm like, alright, let's just get over with it. But that wedding between Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee was something else. We had an appearance from CM Punk. We had an appearance from The Rock. That wedding was certainly a very memorable one. I've got low expectations from this one, the wedding of Dexter and Indy, but let's see. Let's keep an open mind and watch the show with an open mind. I'm pretty sure, and I'm seeing Finn Balor's face on the commercial, one of the commercials on TV right now. I'm pretty sure that Finn Balor is happy that he's finally made his main roster debut, because he definitely wouldn't have been, happy with the new NXT. The kind of talent he is and what he brings to the table, NXT 2.0 is definitely not the place for Finn Balor. Not at all. Not at all. And just like KJ said in his video yesterday, NXT is responsible for introducing us to such amazing world-class talents. You talk about Charlotte Flair, you talk about Sasha Banks, you talk about Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, world-class athletes. NXT has really introduced us to such great athletes who are now basically running the show, who are running the WWE. It is safe to say that. But To see NXT change into NXT 2.0 and do what it's doing tonight, it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. Alright, so the bridesmaids are ready. Everybody is there. Cameron Grimes is there. I see him. I see Austin. I see Dexter. We're just waiting for Indy. Let's see what happens. Awkward silence there on the show. Alright, the music is now playing. Indy is making her way to the ring, to the altar. She's walking down the aisle. And who's walking her down? Alright, Johnny Gargano is actually walking her down to the aisle, down the aisle to the altar. William Regal is there looking on as a very disappointed daddy. I'm not sure if the new NXT 2.0 was something that he envisioned, something that he wanted, but it is something that we have now. Johnny Gargano, I mean, just look at his face. I would like for you guys to just pay attention to the face of Johnny Gargano and see how heartbroken he looks deep inside. We can tell that he does not look very happy. He's trying to keep a straight face. He's trying to, smile. But definitely, this is not the NXT that he loved. This is not the NXT he loved to be a part of. I feel like as he's standing there right now, he's just wondering how much time does he have left on his contract, because Johnny Gargano is better than that. He is. Indy is refusing to let go of Johnny Gargano. Alright.
Just double check it. We're good. Just double check it. We're fine. Austin, you got the rings, right? Austin, you got the rings? We're in a ring, silly. Yeah. I know.
It seems like Austin has lost the wedding ring.
Where are they? Who has the rings?
Everybody is dressed up except for this guy. I have no words.
Before this ceremony takes place, if there's anyone here who believes these two cannot lawfully be joined together in matrimony, let them speak now or forever hold their peace.
Does anybody object to this? A lot of people do not want these people to get married. Okay. Something that we definitely did not expect. A lot of hands have, alright. Dexter out there literally threatening them not to object to the wedding, and all the hands that were raised have gone down now, and they are now continuing with the wedding. Interesting.
Indy, will you please now share your vows?
Indy is now about to share her vows. She's about to read it off a script. Let's see what she says. I'm surprised, KJ, that the fans are actually clapping and they're cheering this on. Not sure why.
Some people see you as a stalker, but what I see is a caring man with a well-groomed mustache and tight clothes that never takes his eyes off me. I find it so sweet how you're always following me, watching my every move.
Indy says that a lot of people see a stalker in Dexter, but what she sees in him is a man who never takes his eyes off her and loves her genuinely. Okay.
Dexter's my freak. I'll always remember that one time when you snuck into my bed late at night with Johnny and Candace.
What was this? When was this? You were sleeping?
It looks like they're trying to create a cheating angle between Indy and Johnny Gargano. Candace looks less than happy. something controversial going on
You
here.
never lose a staring contest. You keep me safe. You understand me, and I understand you. I cannot wait to spend the rest of our lives together. I love you.
Indy says that she cannot wait to spend the rest of her life with Dexter, and that she loves her.
Now, Dexter,
Let's see if Dexter has something to say. But let's just accept this. This is NXT 2.0, the premiere episode of NXT 2.0, and we're ending the show. We're sending the fans back home with a wedding segment. Shows the direction this promotion and this brand is now headed to.
Dexter, your beautiful bride to be just poured her heart out to you, and you don't have anything to say at all. It's just nerves. It's probably just nerves. Dexter, are you?
Dexter has nothing to say. All right, and that is not a hug. That is not a hug. That's a sleeper hole. He's putting the guy to sleep. He's done with it. He just wants to go ahead with the wedding, it seems. And this is just very common, normal behavior for a wedding that takes place in a wrestling ring. It's very normal behavior. So nothing too surprising about it right now. It's just normal behavior. William Regal is there. He's shocked. He's surprised. He genuinely looks shocked and surprised. Oh god. What is the deal with the referee behind him? So Beth Phoenix is there, I believe, to finish up this wedding.
I was afraid something like all this would happen, so last night I went online and I got ordained as a minister. So, what do you guys say we cut to the chase?
All right.
Somebody say Andre Chase. No.
This is a really cheesy comedy. This is the kind of a show. This is the kind of a segment I can't really enjoy. I'm not enjoying it right now. Cheesy comedy. I don't know how does it help the show, the product in itself. I don't know how the wedding's gonna help the product. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure what to say.
Johnny,
Yeah.
can we get the rings?
Oh yeah, I got her. Yeah, I got it. Hold on.
All right, so Johnny is now presenting the rings to the couple. Indy takes out hers. Dexter takes out his.
Indy Hartwell, do you take Dexter to be your wedded husband? To have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer,
Does Indy take Dexter
sickness,
as her husband?
to love,
Let's see if that's gonna be a yes or it's gonna be a no.
death, preferably of natural causes and not from an axe.
Again, a lot of cheesy comedy during the segment.
Do you part?
Something I never knew that I would see on an NXT show, but here we are. Here we're seeing it right now. Indy puts the ring on Dexter's finger, making it official.
Do you, Dexter Lewis, take Indy Hartwell to be your
And now it's
wife?
Dexter's turn to do the same to Indy. Let's see if he takes her as his wife.
To love and to cherish until death do you part.
He's just staring at Indy right now,
We'll take
not
it.
really saying anything.
So, I think as the
He covers the microphone, the Beth Phoenix microphone, does not want her to talk any further. Just giving a very long and deep stare. Alright, he says I do. He takes her as his wife, puts on the ring on the finger of Indy. making it official. They are husband and wife. Beth Phoenix now pronounces Dexter and Indy as husband and wife. The crowd seems happy. The wrestlers in the ring seem happy. Yeah, I'm happy too. No, KJ, no. Why would you quit? I'm happy about it. I mean, this is wonderful. The show has finally come to an end, it seems, and can't be happier. I'm so glad that we're done with the show. This dumpster fire of a show, as somebody said earlier. I'm glad. I hope that this is over and we can really go off for the night. The show has been so bad. We're really ending an NXT show on this note. And this wedding actually went well. The wedding went on with no problems whatsoever, which is the most surprising part. They are actually married. And Tommaso Ciampa, right there, looking at the television screen, not able to believe that this is the segment that ended the show and not his actual match.
Congrats on your first win in NXT 2.0.
And just like that, it seems like Tommaso Ciampa now has a new opponent, somebody who wants the title. And just like that, NXT 2.0 is over. How would I rate the show? Is the same. I would rate it a solid 2 out of 5. I feel like that's very generous of me, by the way. The show was just bad. The wrestling in the show was bad. The entertainment part was missing. I was not entertained. Johnny Gargano and not Johnny Gargano, but Pete Dunne and Tommaso Ciampa saved the show. Kudos to them. Am I going to be tuning in next week? I will be because of you guys, because we'll be doing the watch along. But if I was generally just a fan and not doing this as a profession, would I tune in? Probably not. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed the show and you enjoyed the watch along. We'll be back tomorrow with the watch along for AEW Dynamite, which I hope will be a much better show, and I'm pretty sure will be a much better show. Adam Cole and CM Punk have already been advertised for tomorrow's show, so it has to be good. But NXT 2.0, my last thoughts on it, just that, dumpster fire. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow with the live stream of the watch along for AEW Dynamite. Thank you, and take care.